Very good morning and most welcome to ACFIM Talks. Yet again, this Friday, 3rd of June, the rest of the country is celebrating the Martyrs' Day, and there's a lot of activity at the Namgongo Shrine at both ends. But at ACFIM, we also are able to bring you ACFIM Talks, our weekly talk show. And today we're discussing the Battle of NUP leadership. There's been a lot of information crisscrossing, not yet mainly in the mainstream media, but social media have been a couple of reports coming through, and we're going to be looking at that in a short while. But before we start, allow me to encourage and invite everybody to subscribe to our YouTube channel, ACFIM Uganda, and also on our social media platforms, so you can be able to be part of these conversations. You'll be getting notifications, and you can be also be able to contribute to the discussions that we are having today. We are live on ACFIM Uganda YouTube, on our Twitter handle at ACFIM UG, and also on our Facebook page, ACFIM. My name is Felix, your usual moderator, and with me I have a panel of three male panelists. Again, we are sorry that it's an all-male domestic panel, but next time, I promise we will try to mobilize and bring women on board. That said, let me give this talk show some bit of context, so that I can help anybody out there to understand where we are coming from and why are we discussing what's happening in the party NUP National Unity Platform. Now, you remember that on the 27th of May 2022. National Unity Platform reportedly held a delegates conference, and in that conference, a faction led by founder Nkonge Moses Chibalama, many of you know him as Moses Chibalama, decided to part ways with People Power Movement, an outfit led by Honorable Robert Sentam Chagulanyi, aka gone by the stage name Bobby Wine. But the press release that we were able to have a look at, that was issued by NUP, and signed by Gideon Tugume, Honorable Chagulanyi ceased being a NUP president, and it is proposed that it is proposed in the same MOU that we were able to see. It is proposed that the position of Foreign Secretary Affairs, I think it's the position of Foreign Affairs Secretary, be given to Honorable Chagulanyi, and he relinquishes or he stops being the party president. This faction also, when we looked at the documents that we're able to see, plans to negotiate with the president for the release of the political prisoners, including Honorable Segidinya and Sewanyana, that are being incarcerated until now. In the same press release, we also were able to look at Bobby Wine and the team have been urged to hand over all NUP materials and assets, including providing accountability for all donations and other financial income that they have received. Also, this development, you should all understand that this development comes after 2 years of a political marriage that was witnessed on the 10th of July 2020. But before this union, the National Unity Platform, then was National Unity Reconciliation Party, had to rebrand and registered as National Unity Platform in August 2019 with the Electoral Commission. Now, according to the docs that we've been able to access, the fallout between the two factions, that's the faction of Chagulanyi led NUP, and also the faction of Chibalama, it's as a result of strained relations between the two. And I understand the faction of Chibalama is accusing this faction of Chagulanyi of micromanaging the party and only favoring Chagulanyi, favoring his henchmen. And indeed, some political analysts have gone ahead to argue and interpret this as a failure of the two factions to share the billions of shillings the party receives from government as contribution to party funding. And in this episode of ACFIM Talks, we take an excursion and we look at what's going inside the party, looking at the NUP leadership. And with me, I have, so far, I've been joined by Gideon Tugume, who is the new NUP spokesperson. He's from Tungamo district, and he holds an MBA, and also is an LLB. Previously, he's been in political circles for quite some time, because he previously worked as a Secretary General for the National Freedom Party, also worked as a Secretary General for the Forum for Integrity in Leadership field, and also at some point worked as a Secretary for Information and Electoral Affairs for NUP. Gideon, you are most welcome to today's ACFIM Talks. I think you are muted. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. My name is Gideon Tugume. I'm the new spokesman of National Unity Platform Party. And I greet everyone who is watching us at this particular time. And I'm so delighted to be hosted on this very great, important, and most magnificent, I think, viewership kind of arrangement. I'm so grateful for that, and we expect to exchange a lot, and we hope to answer the questions that really is affecting people's minds at this particular time. It has been only a problem of the corruption in the country, where the media is so corrupted to the extent that they don't even give the chance for us to explain most of the issues. So I do expect to explain more and expand the understanding of what is happening in the NUP.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. It's good to have you. With me also, I have Michael Aboneka. Michael is on set. I hope I can have Michael's link and feed live so that we can be able to. Michael hasn't yet joined us, I've been told by the producer, but we expect Michael Aboneka to join us. Michael is the practicing advocate with the High Court. You've seen Michael do a lot of work around human rights and good governance, and he's a partner at Thomas and Michael Advocates, an attorney of law, and especially done a lot of work around constitution and human rights law. He's a crusader in public interest and strategic litigation, and has over 12 years working with the civil society sector in the areas of especially governance. So we expect Michael to join us. He's currently part of the steering committee of the Africa Young Activist Network, a network that brings together all activists across Africa working on social justice and democracy. When Michael gets here, I'll be able to let him join us and be part of the discussion. I also expect Henry Kasacha, who is no stranger to this show. He's almost a regular. Kasacha has done a lot of work around democracy and youth programming and engagement. He is the founder member of is the founder program manager of IPOD. IPOD is that platform that brings together political parties that are represented in parliament, and does a lot of work around strengthening political parties. When Henry Kasacha gets here, we'll be able to let him join and be part of the conversation. But let's get this off the ground, because I think we have enough questions to get this conversation started. And I'm going to start with you, Gideon. Gideon, we've been following these developments keenly, and indeed, surprised as you are, we also don't know why in the mainstream media they were not picked, but we're able to pick them, and indeed that's why we're having this discussion. But for people out there who are wondering what's happening within the camp, within the political party of NUP, what is this all about? Because if I'm a NUP supporter, I would be asking myself, why are you destabilizing a party that at the moment is the leading opposition party in parliament? And I think it should be in NUP's interest to consolidate that strength, grow the party, rather than agonizing and destabilizing the party. What is the problem? What is happening?
No, actually, there is no destabilization in the party. The party as itself is solid, it is strong, It appreciates the supporters, the support it is getting across the country and outside the country. It is actually appreciative to Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi and the team for the work they have done up to this time when we have reached this stage. What I want to tell you, maybe from the beginning, is that NUP got its new name in 2019. And by the time we got new name, Honorable Kyagulanyi was not a member, neither was he a supporter of NUP. So Robert Kyagulanyi, who is related actually to Mr. Chibarama Moses Nkonge, they met somewhere, and we had just held the delegates conference in 2019, of which we had elected Chibarama Moses Nkonge together with the other leaders to lead the party for the next 2 years, because our constitution mandates us to always have a delegates conference every after 2 years. So when they met somewhere, they decided to form a memorandum of understanding. A memorandum of understanding that was between NUP and People Power. So they signed a document, which document was to run for 1 year. But within that period of 1 year, the Honorable Kyagulanyi, together with his team, they were to come and always inform and consult the party organs. We have SEC, we have NEC, and all those organs were set always to receive and know what is happening in the party. So the party did not know what took place between Moses Chibarama Nkonge and Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, which was good. In one way, we just saw the news that, you know, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has joined the NUP, and he has been given a flag. And we wondered, actually, because in the first place, that is not how flags are given to an individual who wants to vie for a certain office. In the first place, you have to be a member of the party, you have to belong to a certain organ of the party, and from being to the organ of the party, you'll be recommended by SEC, which SEC, that is Central Executive Committee, which recommends you to delegates conference where a flag bearer is elected. This was not done, all those were not done. So the party kept quiet because in the first place, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu came with a big force. There was an influx of many people who came and, you know, started calling themselves NUP. In actual sense, as a party, we did not know, even up to now, Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is not a member of NUP up to now, because he is not in the national register of the party. Even those whom he recruited, including the members of parliament, including those who were elected at different levels, are not in the register of a party. And they did not go through the normal process of a party. And so we waited for Honorable Kyagulanyi to bring his team and report together with his friend, his uncle Chibarama, to bring the friends and the rest of the people we had purportedly, you know, brought into NUP to the party for official registration and issuance of cards, and also be, you know, blessed with that kind of arrangement to be party members. They did not come. So they proceeded operating within the name of the party, calling themselves NUP, you know, abusing the people. You hear that NUP members abuse everyone. They started mobilizing funds from different areas within the country and even outside the country. They started even receiving money from electoral commission, from government, and they were not actually informing the party. So we waited. We just heard that he even refused to join the IPOD, that he was saying we shouldn't even work with the other members of the political parties like Mao, like BSJ, like others who are political players, or coordinating with other political parties. He did that, they refused. And they were doing all that in the name of the party. So we waited for the period after calling Chibarama into SEC. He explained to us that, you see, this is a popular person. We brought him because we knew he was to increase the membership of the party, which was good. But our party has got its ideology. Its ideology is liberalism, which says that everybody is given an opportunity in the party, from any party, from any place. So it is not like a political party per se, but it is a platform that encompasses everybody. So if there is this kind of arrangement where the so-called leader that you are brought in cannot allow the communication with the other parties, communication with the other groupings in the political arena, then we have to lose the track. So we decided to wait until the year which they had signed ends. So when the year ended, we communicated because we could not communicate as a party. We told those who had made that illegal arrangement to communicate to him. So they got a lawyer and they communicated to him that, we gave you this party without consulting the party members, without consulting the state. So we have ended that relationship. They wrote to him.
Just a minute, Gideon. The
Yes,
MOU which Chibalama, without consulting party members, signed with Kyagulanyi, was supposed to run till when?
For 1 year. It was run up to 11th July 2021. And when it elapsed, a communication was made to him by those people, because for us as a party, we could not communicate. We were not a party to that arrangement. So they communicated to him. They said, now the year has ended, and so we have now completely ended that relationship. And the letter, a copy of the letter is available. So we saw that letter. So it ended in that.
Who communicated? Was it
Chibalama
the one who illegally
handed over a party flag? Yes, those who illegally handed over a party flag to him communicated to him through a lawyer, certain lawyer, so that they informed him that the relationship had ended. So now we called Chibalama together with the Secretary General, and then we put them on to tell us exactly what is happening. They said for us, we ended that relationship, and so we don't know. So we are saying in the media that the NUP has got members of parliament, NUP has got what? Then we said no. A party cannot be used, the party name cannot be used for selfish ends. We don't know what is happening. There is no reporting to the party organs. SEC has never approved anybody. SEC has not received any communication from anybody that maybe somebody is acting as an agent of a party to go and start recruiting, to go and start making different arrangements. So as a party sat on 5th of March this year and decided, recommended for the holding of the delegates conference. So it is when we communicated to the authorities, to whoever was concerned to be communicated to that the delegates conference is going to take place. Now, the issue came in that why are you not inviting Robert Kyagulanyi together with the team? Because according to our constitution, it says that members of parliament and the president shall always attend the delegates conference. When we went into the register of the party, and we went to the normal way of inviting the members who can attend the delegates conference, we found that Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu is not a member of the party. He did not. He doesn't possess the party card. He does not belong in the register of the party. So whichever he was doing is outside the party organs and outside the party, constitution and principles, and so he could not be invited in the delegates conference. So even the members of parliament, because we did not know anything. So when we went into the delegates conference on 25th of May 2022, members are out of the discussions and the rest of the staff recommended to form a committee which was formed to investigate the relationship between Chibalama and the Kyagulanyi and the group, and also to see that committee is going to make recommendations on what to do for the errant members of the party who handed over the party to the unregistered. Remember, People Power is not a registered entity, which could not have made an agreement with the National Unity Platform, which is a registered party. So when we went even to check with the register of companies, with where we found the NUP People Power is not there. So from onset, even the agreement, that MOU was null and void. It wouldn't have happened. According to Political Parties and Organizations Act, you can only merge when your political parties registered political parties. You can only correct or make a coalition when you are registered political parties. You can work together in other arrangement when you are actually political parties, but when you are not, any agreement that you make cannot be void, they cannot be void. So we just looked into that, all those issues, and saw that was bad. But because of their contribution, because the many members now, you hear many, many supporters talking about NUP and what the members recommended that there should be a proposal so that Robert Kyagulanyi, together with his people, can report to the party and be recognized. So that's why those positions were proposed. You cannot start from being, you want to be a Catholic. You must be baptized. From baptized, you be confirmed. So you cannot jump from being baptized, then you completely become a bishop in the church. No, you can't. So we wanted him to come and cool down, be with us, be with the party, go through the normal process of elections in the party, then can be able to be, incorporated. If you want to stand, can vie through, nomination, normal processes of nominations, and then you can become a president again if you want, or a flag bearer. And so that's what happened at the delegates conference. And there are many issues that came up in the delegates conference, many issues of accountability.
Yeah, we are going to discuss that, Gideon. We are going to discuss those issues. I've been joined by Mike Aboneka, and Mike, I'm going to throw in straight away at some point. But before I bring in Michael, Gideon, my bigger question is, if Chibarama acted in error, and you are really raising very interesting perspectives that even the MOU is null and void. But I was looking at a copy of the MOU, which doesn't seem even specify that this period was supposed to be for 1 year. It seems to be open-ended. The copy I have seems to be open-ended, but we'll come back to that. The question is, why did you also take action on Chibarama? Because it looks like Chibarama acted not consulting the party, but as an individual. And why wait now to come up and not raise those issues then?
You see, sir, we had just elected. We were just from delegates conference by the time he handed over the party to Kyagulanyi. So he had just been elected. So as our constitution, when somebody is elected, you have to wait for another 2 years to go to the delegates conference. So you cannot fraud the party constitution as it is. So we waited because he explained to us that he is going to, to give the information to the party, of which we said no, because for us as a party, we did not sign. Because when you look even at whichever went out during that period, the party was not concerned at all. Like even taking the case to court by Kyagulanyi after elections, even after withdrawing, everything were not reported to the party. So we could not take action when you are still holding that big position. Remember, when you are a vice president of a party, you are the chairman of the party, you are the chairman of SEC, you are the chairman of NEG. So you are the ones even to invite the delegates and the rest. So if we have, there is no way we could have no converged even without him. So until the period for the delegates conference come, where the constitution mandates the vice chairman, the vice president, who is the chairman of the party, to invite the members as per the law to sit. And that's when he was inviting the members of the SEC on 5th of March, after pressure actually. There are even some letters which were written to him that you must convene the meeting. So that's how the process came in. So he's not there simply because the members are happy with him, but he's there because they want to take action when they have where they can get him from. Remember, if you just, throw him away, he can even disappear and run away from the country. That is why the members were saying that Kyagulanyi and the rest should not be, distanced. So they can even use remember they have been getting funds, getting what, they have everything and resources. They can run away and take away everything. So we want to just bring them together. This committee, which was formed, is going to investigate their actions, and I know it is going to take appropriate action against those members, and then the rest will be told to the media and the public.
All right. Gideon, thank you so much for really setting us off very well, providing a very interesting context. And Michael, I hope you were able to listen to what Gideon was saying. Interestingly, the MOU, according to Gideon and the group, is null and void. I think you've looked at the copy of the MOU, including the minutes of the delegate conference and the things they're raising there. And let me, as a lawyer, Michael, does Shibalama and group have any justifiable grounds to take the path they have taken? And is it true that people power, Bobby Wine and the group are actually not members of NUP, because that's what has just been told to us. But when I read the MOU, there is a clause that actually looks at, that protects and says those that have joined from people power, they are members of NUP. As a lawyer, help us interpret this all practice about the Chibalama group.
Thank you, Felix. I hope you are able to hear me. Just
Yes,
let me know
loud
if
and
you're
clear.
able to hear me.
We
Yeah,
can hear
thank you. First of all, I want to thank ACFIM for this opportunity. I've been a bit under the weather, but I'm glad I'm here. And thank you, Gideon, for highlighting those important questions. Now, Felix, I have been looking at these issues, and I'm wondering, from the onset, why are we here? Where, as in, how did we reach here? And I've been asking myself these questions before I answer your question of, so what is the problem now? Because even the public is confused, just like probably some of us are. Do we have NUP number one and we have NUP number two, or do we have NUP and nothing else but NUP? And who are the subscribers of NUP? And then there is an MOU coming in there, and then there is a court case, which of course Justice Sekana dismissed on just in a procedural issue. But I've tried to dig into a few details. There was a struggle to change the name of this party, I think all the way from 2012 until about 4 times, and I think, Gideon, maybe you know that, until maybe March 2019. There was also that struggle where Electoral Commission kept on rejecting until there was a delegates conference of 2019 March, which I will ask Gideon to later tell us whether that's the one in which they agreed. Because you see, Felix, these issues are legal. Sometimes people take them not serious. Gideon mentions that the MOU was entered between the NUP, the party, and the people power. And the question is, do you have legal standing, or are you a legal entity to enter into a memorandum? That's an interesting view to look at it, by the way. And I may want to agree with him. And just to say on the onstart that we need to have these conversations and cordial as possible, because I know that people read on Twitter were starting to quarrel about us talking about these things. But you see, in a country of democracy that we talk about, and where taxpayers' money is being spent on political parties, you cannot say that Mike Kaboneka has no right to talk about these things, either Felix or whoever. Let's have these conversations, and that's what is going to help us. So back to the question, and I'll take it from Gideon's question. And it's good he's here. It's going to help us. Who are the guys who were behind the MOU? Who approved? Because you see, a political party under the Political Parties Organization Act is a legal entity. Look at it as a company. The same things were challenging in court. If a company is going to sign a document, there must be a company seal, there must be a power of attorney giving Mike Kaboneka power of attorney to sign on behalf of that company. Now, you have a process where there are a few people who are saying they are representing a party and they're entering into an MOU. And what is interesting, Felix, is that I see Gideon's signature on this.
Yes.
I think it was a press statement or a memorandum, whatever it is. But what I wanted to find out, and which I didn't get clearly, is did the memorandum of understanding have a period of execution?
Mm-hmm.
Have the parties executed both their obligations? Because Then, Gideon, there was an issue I read, during my preparation in court about the $5 million. Some people being promised $5 million to hand over the party. So there is a lot of things that are in air that need to be cleared. But of the MOU, what has gone wrong? Apart from it being a legal, let's be beyond going into the legal issues, is one, did it have a time frame in which it's supposed to be implemented? Have both parties, because you see, an MOU is not one-ended. Every party has an obligation. So the question is, has everyone implemented to the latter or the MOU? And number 2 or 3 is before electoral commission, and that's why I would love to have electoral commission. Before electoral commission, who is the recognized face of National Unity Platform? Who are the subscribers? Because you see, these are legal issues, by the way. When we start tracing our monies, because you see, we are giving political parties money. NUP has over 61, MPs. NUP is member of IPOD. So who is member of IPOD? Is it Gideon NUP, Chagulani NUP, Chibalama NUP? Who is receiving the billions of money? I don't know whether it is per quarter or something. You need to clarify that. The billions of money that is going to NUP, is it Gideon's NUP receiving it? Is it Mengo? Is it Kamocha? And number 3, then who is making returns? Because political parties are supposed to make returns. Now, until we resolve issue number 1 of who is the legal entity recognized and the electoral commission, because then electoral commission, we need to find out whether it's giving money to to a ghost party or a real party, because then questions of accountability are going to come in. That's the same things here, that you're giving money to a non-existing company. So I think that, Felix, I didn't get enough actually documentation in my research to find out. First of all, I could not access the website of the National Unity Platform. I don't know, for some reason it's off. My end, I couldn't access it. So I am just much as confused as probably the public, but I'm happy Gideon is here. I only took liberty of the documents I have. But the legal questions I'm raising, there is a certificate Gideon was, I think, showing the media, the one of August, Gideon, the certificate of registration. So the question is, Gideon and everyone, so who is behind that certificate? Who are the first subscribers? Who are the members of the party? Because that resolves the question. If we went to Electoral Commission now to do an inquiry and say we want to know the leaders and the members and the founders of the Farmers Party, Electoral Commission will give us detail. If we say, can we have the members and the subscribers of the National Unity Party, if it is there, or platform, Electoral Commission is able to give us. So if we went to the EC today or on Monday and asked, you as Electoral Commission, we have this thing called National Unity Platform. Who are the members? Who are the subscribers? Whom are you giving money? Now, that also will help to settle the conundrum. And then that will now also lead us to the second question. I'm sure we're going to discuss it in the second part of then the other people who say they belong to People Power but also belong to NUP. Where do they fall? Because that is also an important question for us to understand and underscore. Because we need to keep emotions out of this. There's taxpayers' money involved, and it's an issue of democracy. Political parties play a bigger role in either killing or building democracy of this country. Now, since we are in a multi-party dispensation, political parties play a very big role. You cannot on day one say, I want to be part of a political party. When tomorrow there are issues, they're asking you to account, you say, I want to be independent. I think that has to be sorted from the onset. So for me, those are the three major questions. The MOU was signed between a political party and a people power. The question is, in law, what is people power? Is it a legal entity? Can it enter into a memorandum of understanding? What is it? Can that MOU, by the way, Gideon, can that MOU now, can we enforce it if someone breached it? Or whether the first question to court to answer would be whether this MOU is enforceable. I think for me, that's a very good point that Gideon raised. And I think until we resolve that question, is the MOU enforceable? What is NUP? What is people power? Then secondly, Felix, as I leave this matter, is the person who signed the MOU on behalf of the NUP, did they have authority and mandate to do the same? Were they seconded? Was there some kind of party resolution? Because that way, that is going to help us if we do the retrospective or the introspection of the matters that happened. Because then what seems to happen is that everyone is saying there was an MOU. Other people say Mr. Chibalama sold our party. Others say our party was handed over without us knowing. But we need to go back and dig deep and find out, okay, the MOU was signed, leave alone the issues of legalese. Who authorized A to sign on behalf of NUP, and who authorized B to sign on behalf of people power? Number two, what were the terms? How long is this? How far have we gone? Because if it has no termination, expired period, then what are we? What is it doing? But also Section 18 of the Political Parties Organization Act is clear on alliances and what have you, but it has to be, legal entities. You are allowed to do alliances, but it has to be amongst you. So you must be first of all a legal entity. And I'm sure that's why they didn't take that route of forming an alliance. So are we saying that an MOU is also another form of alliance? Is that the new way of doing things? But also, if that is the other case, that political parties are allowed to ally, to coalesce with other social groups, maybe pressure groups that may necessarily not have to be political parties. That's also another question. But for now, I am trying to not to be as confused as everyone on exactly what is NUP today. Is it NUP Gideon, NUP Mengo, NUP Kamocha? Where does the money from Electoral Commission go to? NUP Mengo, NUP whatever, and or NUP Kamocha? And everyone concerned shouldn't bury their heads. I've been reading that some members are trying silently go back to Chibalama and what have you, but we'll discuss that, the effect of this paper probably in the second part. But Felix, to me, as a Ugandan and as a lawyer, for me, those are my legal questions, that until we answer those legal questions of what is the legal standing of NUP currently, who are the legal subscribers, who does the law under the Political Parties and Organization Act, the Uganda Registration Services Bureau, who do they recognize as the subscribers and the members of this party? So it's a question of law. Who is recognized in law? So once that question has been answered, then we can deal with, okay, so there was an MOU. What was it for? That one is up to you. It's not really about about the Electoral Commission and what have you. But I think this mix-up needs to be sorted
All right.
as soon as possible. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. You raised very pertinent legal questions. Before Gideon comes back to answer, let's go for a short break. And when we return, Gideon will help us answer some of the legal questions being raised by Michael, because I think it's important to clear the air in terms of the legal understanding, that because there seems to be some issues that are confused here. and it would be very good that you help us sort out this matter. Let's go for a short break and then we'll return.
So, Madam MP, I'm so honored to have you on this interview. So, for starters, how does it feel like being an MP? I want you to take me through your scope of work in this office.
So you really want me to take you through my day, how I spend my day?
Sure.
Let me start with office. Actually, I think this is something better. Why don't I hand over my office to you for something like 2 or 3 days?
That will be perfect.
It will be perfect. So when will you be free?
We can do it now.
Now? I'm going to hand over my office to you for 24 hours.
Okay.
Right. This is a list of the calls I'm expecting today. These are the phones. You make sure you note down everything.
Okay. Have a good day.
Have a good day too.
Yes, please, Officer for MP. Yes. Please, I'll call you back. Hello, Officer for MP. How may I help you? Yes. Which place is that? Oh my God. How much? 14. My God! Is this what she goes through?
Oh, whatever. Thank God you're back. I can't do this anymore. But we agreed for 24 hours. What does that mean? I don't know how you do it. Let me just look back to you. Have you got enough for your story?
Enough. I got more than what I bargained for. Thank you so much.
Voters redefined the work of an MP. I buy food, I pay for burials, I pay school fees for so many, I pay hospital bills, I buy seeds and donate.
What? Why? Tell people the bitter truth.
They don't want to know.
Do your job.
Which is?
Make laws, protect the democratic government, oversee the implementation of the government programs.
They don't want to.
When will you ever put service before politics?
Tell voters I'm a politician, not a Rotarian. They should stop that begging culture of theirs.
Stop imposing such overwhelming demands on your MP. The statutory role of an MP is to perform legislation, oversight, budget approval, and representation.
Contribute today at www.politicalfinanceafrica.org/donate.
Welcome back from the short break. You are still watching ACFIM Talks, and we are looking at the battle for NUP leadership. Before we went for a break, there were questions that were raised that are quite pertinent, that try to understand the legal standing of NUP. The bigger question is understanding the legal entity called NUP. What is the legal standing of NUP? Who are the legal subscribers to NUP? When it comes to the law, what does the law say in terms of what does the law recognize in terms of who are the members of NUP? And before we even discuss the MOU, because in the MOU, let me just look at the first clause of MOU, which looks at that the leadership of the People Power Movement, having fully obtained membership of the party, shall contest for, and if elected, take influential positions within the party, and henceforth steer it forward. Meaning, the MOU, by extension, makes the members of People Power members of NUP. The MOU, and also this same MOU, I don't seem to see the time frame of the MOU. Maybe again, Gideon will help us here because he talked about that it was given a time frame of 1 year. So, but those questions, let me come back to Gideon, and we've also been joined by Henry Muguzi, because I think it's important that Henry joins us for this discussion for the implications of this kind of conundrum in political parties. Because it has far-reaching implications on democracy, and I think it would be good to look at beyond NUP, what does this mean to multi-party democracy and dispensation that we are in? But Gideon, the legal questions that have been raised, can you try to demystify them? Unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, proceed.
Yes, in the operations of political parties have to play their, their issues internally. That is what they call internal democracy. The internal democracy includes that members of the party can sit and decide how the party will move. Because a political party is a public entity. It is not for an individual. So whichever must be done within the confines of the law. And this is the party constitution and the Political Parties and Organizations Act and the constitution respectively. So in this part, before even you talk anything else legally in terms of political parties operations, you have to talk about a member who is a member of a party. A member of a party is that person who holds a party membership card, which he has paid for what they call subscription fee. And his or her name must appear in the register of that party. So that is a member of the party. So after describing a member of a party, that member has a right to participate in elections and decisions of the party through the party organs. So the party organs, what are the party organs according to NUP? The party organs, there must be elections from village level, from village to parish, from parish to sub-county, from sub-county to district, from district then delegates are elected in that way, among others. So you have to follow those steps in order to become a leader in the party. If you are not a leader through those steps and those organs, then you cannot be taken to be a leader, or you cannot become just a member by taking a position at the end of the day, that you just come and be, a delegate from Tungamo when you were not elected by the Tungamo people. So in this case, the legal part of it, which can be summed up, is being summed up by the membership, the membership kind of arrangement in the party. So if one was not a member, then he cannot become a member by mere writing. And in this, I don't go to, to the arrangement which was made in the MOU. That MOU, which is between, they're saying it is between NUP and the People Power. In the first place, People Power cannot make an arrangement, a legal arrangement, with a registered political party, which is National Unity Platform. Secondly, if such arrangement was to be done, then the party would be consulted. And this is SEC, where the president by then, Mr. Chibarama, would have consulted the SEC, seeking for the approval to welcome Kyagulanyi into the party, which was not done. So Robert Kyagulanyi did not append his signature in the register of the party. He was not given a card or a party card to include him or to include them as they came into the party. So now for them, after doing whichever they did, they went and started printing cards from NASA and giving different people. They started, forming themselves into things which are not in the constitution of the party. For example, the position of the principal does not appear in our constitution. We have been hearing that is called the principal, which does not appear here. Secondly, when they were during elections, they were using a vetting process, forming a committee to vet those who are to vie for different positions. That one does not appear in our constitution. So we were just looking in that way. So in the legal part of it by itself, leave alone the MOU being illegal, being null and void, but also the processes of which implementation of it were also null and void by themselves. So if the MOU had 1 year, which was to elapse on 11th of July 2021, and it was not renewed, by whichever sections, by whichever articles, by whichever arrangement they had, the moment it elapsed, everything elapsed there and then. So the illegality and the formation and the implementation of that MOU ended there and then. And there was writing by those who handed over the party to him, actually informing them that the marriage has ended. So when the marriage has ended and been dissolved, then you cannot say it is still standing. So it ended there. But on that, even during that period, we had to wait for another year, awaiting for the period mandated in the Constitution to hold the delegates conference, of which we waited. And at this particular time now, it is upon that we are calling for the accountability from those who were using the name of NUP. Accountability not only in terms of money, which was being collected from various people, various organizations, from the government and the rest, but also accountability in terms of the personnel, in terms of the members, those who are purportedly have been registered under a name of NUP should be brought to the party, and the party sec will approve, the legal conference will approve. So in that way, there is nothing being done completely up to now. What they are only doing is to go to the media, pay off the media, not to listen to us. And that's when we reach end. We cannot promote that kind of arrangement. This is dictatorial, it is draconian, you know, so we cannot really promote that. So on the question of returns, the reason even why we came up, there was no return from whoever to the Electoral Commission. So as a party where the subscribers are ourselves, where Chabrani is not a subscriber, where Chabrani is not known even in anywhere, even when you look at that MOU, his name does not appear. You know, he's a very smart guy in that kind of arrangement. It does not appear. He's not a party to anything. So generally, you would even worry of what is taking place. So we inquired from Electoral Commission, there was no return taken there. So our party would have been deregistered, having not complied with the requirements of the law. So we have to come in. So the money which is the Electoral Commission is raising and the iPod goes to Chabrani, and under which arrangement? Chabrani is even not reporting to us anything completely nothing. Because now we're asking ourselves, which card number do you hold? If NUP had 9,000 members, it means if Chabrani came at 9,000 is 9,001. But we don't know which number is carrying now. So he's signing, and the Constitution does even not allow him to sign on the membership card. The SEC did not approve the members, even the cards to be issued out. These people went to NASA and started printing the cards, started doing what, which is completely illegal, which could not be allowed at all. So the certificate of registration were the ones having it. Because we are the party, we did not hand over a registration certificate, original one. We are the landlord in this case. So the landlord says, please don't power rubbish there. So somebody who is saying, no, may I have to do that? That's not allowed in law, seriously. And in the normal circumstance where we need democracy to be, you know, pure and clean in our country, you cannot allow that kind of arrangement. You know, taking a party like as if it is, you know, this kind of musical shows. So then where the elected people? The elected people, for them, they were not told the truth. You know, there was too much influx into that arrangement. So people were not told, actually, were not oriented into the issues of the party. Even they don't know. If you ask them what does NUP stand for, they don't even know the ideology of the party. They don't know where the party, how they have never read even the constitution of the party. So they just came and were duped, and so they have to pay money. We hear they were paying about 5 million, 10 million. Who the one who has money is the one who takes a card. Surely, that is safety. The police should even come in. That is safety. And we couldn't go into that kind of way. So we have tried to tell them. We never wanted to go to the media before. We wanted, you know, to handle this matter internally so that they can report to us, you know, as SEC, the approach SEC, bring the people. Chabrani would have come and say, you know what, I've done good to the party. I've got 50 members of parliament. I've got this at the level, different levels. But please, let them be incorporated in the party. And then they could maybe enter into the register, could be, you know, arrangement would have been done. But up to now, there is completely nothing. So in that arrangement, well, there is nothing like even to question any legal. There is, they know what they are doing, wherever they are doing. If they continue, by the way, operating in the name of NUP, we shall report to police. because we have already reported to everybody. We have submitted our returns, the Electoral Commission. We have done everything. You know, a party can change anybody at any time, at its discretion. If a party, if it is after 2 years as mandated in the party, and the party sits and say, Gideon, you are no longer the spokesperson of NUP, I will go aside and remain in the party if I'm a royal person in the party. But the moment you become so arrogant and start abusing the party, they will handle you. Recently, you had Honorable Senyoni abused the executive, saying that those are crooks. And the party is going to invite him next week into the party disciplinary committee. If he fails to appear, the party will write to Parliament and the Electoral Commission and disown him, and he will lose the seat. He's thinking it is just a joke. No, we are not joking. We want sanity in the party. Somebody goes around abusing, say, I'm an NUP member, and everybody now knows I'm an NUP member. They do abuse. You cannot really go in that way. So, in simple terms, gentlemen, the panelists, the issue of NUP has no factions. NUP is solid. It has got its mandate on how to go according to the Constitution, and we are informing everybody. We are informing IPOD that we are there. We have written to IPOD, we have written to the Electoral Commission, we have informed the Attorney General, we shall have to do our mandate. If Chagrani and his group wants to come to the party, the delegates conference welcomed them. The delegates conference actually passed a resolution that all those members who were elected purportedly in the name of NUP should report within 2 weeks to the party headquarters so that they can get that blessing of confirmation. If they were baptized by our errant reverend, now the bishop has allowed to confirm them and they become in the party. Much as it is not the process that we have done. So in that arrangement, gentlemen, we are really set to move forward. We don't care about, by the way, the too much popularity. The popularity must come with sanity in the party. If we are to have good democracy in our country, we must follow what the party says. We must follow what the law says. You cannot just allow everything to continue. Tomorrow, we shall be held responsible for the actions of the people who don't even belong to the party.
All right, Gideon. Thank you so much. There you have it. Henry, the reason why I brought you in on this one, it's the second part of the show, because we are discussing but this has broader implications on political parties in Uganda, especially the opposition. And from your perspective as a political analyst, whatever is going on in NUP, and you've heard from Gideon, but also heard from a couple of questions raised by Aboneka. What are the implications on this saga on the rest of political parties in the opposition? But also, what is the fate of the MPs that picked party cards which were apparently done from NASA? Because NUP now has 57 MPs in parliament. What is the implication of the MPs to this development that we are seeing?
Thank you, Felix, and thank you, Gideon. Gideon will come in, and Michael, thank you for joining. I know it's a public holiday. Now, as he was making a submission, I was reading the MOU. Allegedly was done illegally, but the MOU. In the MOU, I think section 3, and I'm going to read this ipsis verbis. It says, Mr. Nkonge Moses Kibalama will always be recognized as the founder of the National Unity Party. Now, we don't know at this time whether it is Unity Party or Unity Platform. And shall become the head of the Elders Advisory, the head of the Elders Advisory Board of the party. The question is, does such a position exist in the Constitution of that was registered with the Electoral Commission? Number 2, political parties, I think, suffer from what you can call founder member syndrome, because you can clearly see that Mr. Kibalama is recognizing himself as the founder of NUP, and therefore as founder, his decision reigns supreme. He can actually override the decisions of SEC, And this we have seen in many other political parties, whether it is the party in power, whether it is the other opposition parties. The founder members tend to keep, their handle, and they tighten that handle on the political parties that they have founded, and that has become a problem of the progression of those political parties. But that said, what Gideon is sharing casts a lot of questions on the capacity of the Electoral Commission to act as the overseer of political parties in Uganda. Does the Electoral Commission have capacity to promote sanity within the political parties? Because what he's saying clearly demonstrates that the Electoral Commission, upon receipt of whatever they received from Kibalama, did not go ahead and conduct due diligence to the fact that we don't know whether that delegates conference, which gave Kibalama powers to lead the party, is also the same one that appointed Honorable Kyagulanyi as the flag bearer for the presidential race. Now, it seems therefore that there could be many other political parties that have submitted and done things that the Electoral Commission has registered that are not actually in the law and are not existent in law. What does this mean for democracy in Uganda? Because anything constructed on a wrong foundation, I think, is in itself wrong. So I think it tells you that the Electoral Commission, the way it is not able to perform two roles. It cannot be the electoral management body at the same time the registrar of political parties. I think the time has come for us in Uganda to think about creation of an independent body that will act as the registrar of political parties. Our brothers in Kenya have this. In Kenya, they have what they call registrar of political parties. So this one, on a daily basis, is overseeing political parties and making sure that there is sanity. That is number one. Number two, when you ask about the other implication, now, Michael will guide us on this. If it is true that the cards that were taken to the Electoral Commission were printed at NASA, I have read the penal code as an ordinary citizen, but I know there is a crime called the falsification of documents. You know, when you go and utter a false document, that is a crime. Is Gideon saying that the police should swing into action and get that person, book that person who issued those cards? And is it true what he's saying? Because we also need to confirm what he's saying. Now, the issue of what's the fate of the 57 members of NUP in Parliament. And when you asked me this question, I was reflecting on a situation where you have this man that comes and rapes a woman. This woman conceives. The baby that is produced out of that rape, does he become a legally recognized son or daughter of that raper, of the rapist? What does the law say? In this case, the 57 were children of rape. Because what Gideon is trying to put on the table is that, you see, the constitution of NUP was rape, and Nkoge Chibalama is complicit in that rape. So what is this you are talking about? So there are quite a number of volumes, and I think I'm happy that we have come to speak about this, because for democracy to thrive and blossom in this country, we need to make sure that political parties are doing the wrong things. Because if you are a political party that is leading in opposition, you are actually a government in waiting. And therefore, as a government in waiting, you must demonstrate by word and deed that you are able to espouse the principles of accountability, the transparency, that you are able to hold something big. Because you see, if you cannot demonstrate, I always repeat this because I like it, when our brothers in Nigeria keep saying that if you are a lizard inside your home, you cannot be a crocodile on the village. So if you want to be a crocodile on the village, first you be a crocodile in your home. So if you cannot be a crocodile within a smaller party, will you be a crocodile in government? So I think there are things that these are things we need to contemplate about. These are things we should have a serious conversation as pro-democracy activists and as citizens of this country. We need to make sure that political parties will have passed the billing as political parties. And I think the things we're seeing in NUP could also be existing in the biggest political party in the country, the NRM. because we are also seeing one founder member who has captured it. Maybe they're also doing things that are crisscrossing the laws and the rules, and so we need to interrogate most of this, because at the end of the day, the bigger picture is of the country called Uganda. Thank you, Felix.
Thank you so much, Henry. We are coming to the tail end, but I'll borrow a couple of minutes because we need to bring this conversation home. And let me come to you, Michael. In view of what's happening, because I think there are more questions that need answers. And as of now, we only have the submission or the position of Gideon Tugume. Probably we may also need to have, we would have loved to have a perspective of Electoral Commission. Maybe at some point we shall have that discussion. And also, it's now clear that there are two NUPs. There is NUP. Okay, there are two factions, because there is the NUP of Gideon, but because Electoral Commission as of now is dealing with the other NUP of Kyagulanyi, so there are two NUPs in one way or another. But Aboneka, how do we get out of this? How would you advise NUP to address this situation they are in for the greater good of democracy, actually, because this is not just about NUP.
Thank you, Gideon, and thank you, Felix, Gideon, and Henry. Henry always has interesting stories about the rape. Unfortunately, Henry, that child belongs to the rapist family. There's nothing to do. Like his DNA, you know, unfortunately. So unfortunately, those members of parliament are in there. And unfortunately, as the law stands in regards to the Sechikubo case, the rebel MPs, you cannot remove them on the account that they have lost their party card and leadership. Because the idea of representative democracy is that people vote people. But you know that this time around, people were like, me, I don't even remember who I voted. All I looked for was an umbrella. So there was a big implication on this. Yeah, and I can feel Gideon's pain, that I don't think people knew the names of the people they were voting for. Everyone said, go and vote the what? The umbrella. But now, you hear the same people who probably ask people to vote the umbrella are going to say, but look here, people, there is already a court's decision that I was voted by people not because of the umbrella. And then that is the sad reality, Henry. So the children will have to remain. That's what the law is saying, that they were voted by Ugandans not because of their mother who carried them, the National Unity Platform. So that is the sad reality that Gideon and colleagues have to deal with. But I've read the Gideon's statement calling them to come to terms. Now, for me moving forward, Felix, this thing includes, it is just sheer courtesy and humility that the NUP, let me say the Kanmocha NUP, and wherever, come and clear the air. I'm also waiting to read their press statement. It's unfortunate that Gideon says people printed cards, they were selling cards, they were doing what have you. Because I want to ask, how many members does NUP have? Is there a register? If we went to Kamwatch and asked, can we inspect how many members does NUP have? Do they have a register? Where is that register kept? At EC, because under the law, you're supposed to furnish EC with this information. I think section 15 or 18, whatever. So the thing is, let us stop the pretense. This doesn't help everyone. I feel Gideon's pain, and I was writing here a question, Gideon, for you, in good faith, that where were you when your thing was being stolen or taken away, for you to come back later? Maybe that one will help us to frame this better. Where were you when the rape was about to happen? So for me, that is the other biggest question. Felix, the other one is for me is to engage the Electoral Commission. I still don't understand. I hope I get this answer. How money is being transferred to Kamwacha guys? I don't know how. Is it an individual account? Did they go and open an account under NUP? maybe Gideon will tell us. I just don't understand how, because this is public money. How are transactions being made? Number three, if today I'm writing if today I am working with ACFIM on a number of things, and I am writing a letter to invite NUP, who do I address it to? NUP, in brackets, Gideon, NUP, like how do we get out of here? Number three, iPod. And I think we need to get iPod also in this conversation. And I think we need to have this conversation going, I think, even next week. Let's have iPod. Let's have EC if they are willing. Who do they recognize at iPod? What documents do people take to iPod to it's a club, right? Every club has things you must bring. Even circles, they ask you for certain things. So even iPod, my colleagues, Rusa, we need to ask them, what are those things people bring before they are absorbed into iPod? Now, if Gideon has the original certificate, so what did the other guys present? The MOU? And if iPod went ahead and admitted them, can we also fault iPod? You get what I mean? Like, the thing is huge. How do they enter iPod? Now, Gideon, you know that there is a National Consultative Forum, which I think you are a member of. So now I'm asking, at this point, NFC recognizes who as a contact person for NUV for the National Consultative Forum? Like the Vaganda say, Anatulayo. Like when the National Consultative Forum says we are sitting tomorrow and we are calling political parties, who will go? Shall we see Gideon? Then we see, like, when will this end? And I think it is for the interest of Ugandans that we sort this out. I know that some people may not want to swallow their pride so they don't lose it, but we need to sort this out. And this is the things we've been talking about, that injustice continues to grow if people who know what are supposed to be doing don't do it. So for me, Gideon, I don't care. And this is why I keep telling Henry and colleagues that the reason as to why we should have conversations not just about NRM, people are busy with NRM. Our houses are not probably that clean. We all have issues, but let us sort, because that's why I don't belong to a political party, because such things, they have never attracted me. I feel like, hey, there's a lot of mess. But let us have conversations that if it is okay for me to call upon NUP to do the right thing, and then the same thing I am okay to call on NRM, that when I call upon NUP to do the right thing, I shouldn't be bastardized and abused and called all sorts of names. Maybe that's the reason, because people are legitimate, don't have to always be reiterating that way. So for me, and it's good to stick with the legalese. Today, if we asked and they paraded everyone there, and they said, you are a NUP MP, show us your card. You show us your card and we see. Because Gideon, I'm sure, like he says, their cards are serialized. There is a process. So because an MOU, probably I've not even looked at the detail, but Gideon, please, I am happy to read through those things. Send me privately those things, and then Felix and Henry. This is good conversation, because you never know what we may be able to save out of these conversations. And it's always good to come out and state the record clear. Because Gideon, again, I would have asked the question come 2026, but what were you doing? Why did you wait? It's good now you've come out. And for the other group that claims also ownership, I would be happy if they also flagged their registration, card and say, this is our registration card, this is our register, this is how many members we have. Then we say, okay, of the two, which one is authentic? Yeah. So instead of throwing insults and the rest, let them engage in the debate. Let them rebut. If they think Gideon and the group are wrong, let them put it in writing. Okay. Otherwise, it is all messy. Yeah, Henry uttering false documents and the rest. all those are criminal offenses. If Gideon decided to go that way, almost everyone in that parliament possessing a NUP card will be at CID answering how they got it. Because you see, the thing is that we need to move away from hoodwinking Ugandans, trying to get a better tomorrow, but for our own selfish gains. Because participatory democracy has to remain on truth, on justice, on fairness throughout. So, moving forward, Gideon has put his statement out. It will just be a good thing that the other people also put a statement out so that we know where we belong, not just throw insults. And it's good, and that's good practice by the Gideon, that you're not just tweeting and throwing things there. You've put things on record. I have read your press statement. Let the other people who claim that they're the owners of this thing also put it out there. But if they don't, Gideon, I hope there is a way forward. I read you said you notified the EC, you notified the EU, you notified IPOD, you notified the Attorney General, and you've given them 2 days to report to the party. So let's watch and see. Because for me, I stand on legality. That is my first principle. This principle of legality for everything. Be it a church foundation, be it a circle, you can't be receiving money when you are an illegal entity. So let's sort out the legalese, and then moving forward, the Ugandans also will need to know the truth, because I think that we are tired of people pretending to be helping us, driving us forward, yet actually in actual sense, where we are not seeing the truth. So Felix, for me, moving forward, that should be the way it should be done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Michael. In a few minutes, I'm coming to you, Gideon Fowler. Then I'll end with Henry. A couple of questions thrown on your side, but also as you answer those questions and how do you plan to get out of this? To be good for us to see what your faction is considering to be the strategic steps it's going to take to harmonize and get out of this kind of scenario we are in. Unmute. Gideon?
Yes, sir. Can I go on?
Please.
Okay. Now, let me first answer the question of where were we when all these things were happening. I explained to you that by 2019, we had just held the delegates conference without Kyagulanyi, without that group. The delegates conference had elected Kibarama Moses Nkonge as the president of the party, and together with the others. So, whichever happened, for us, we normally wait to the time when we have to come back. Either we are called for a meeting or we are called for a delegates conference. So in this matter, where we are not called, whichever goes on, we look on. But what we did, we wrote several letters requiring, requesting the leadership we are directed to call for the SEC, which is Central Executive Committee. And it took a long time. You see, what I want to tell you, members, is that we are talking about the memorandum of understanding with the NUP together with People Power. But there could be, maybe which they could have signed, maybe People Power people could have signed another memorandum with the government. They have a government protection. I have to tell you this, that we did all what it could to ensure that this thing is done, but nobody was listening to us. Electoral Commission, we wrote several letters informing Electoral Commission of illegalities which had taken place and which were going on before even the Kyagulanyi had registered himself as a candidate. And the Electoral Commission ignored, completely kept quiet. We even engaged the police at Chiburi. A report is available. There are some people who are supposed to have been prosecuted. And the report says they forwarded the file to the Director of Public Prosecutions. It has never been sanctioned today, and all these things are going to come. But we never wanted to bring everything at once. Somebody can. It did not, and we want even to ask DPP why that file was not sanctioned. It is very clear. forging of cards, forging of everything, receiving money by false pretense, and that kind of thing. And me, a person who has legal background, as you know, counsel, if you fail to report a felony, you become felonious yourself. So I keep seeing all these things going in a very felonious way, and I keep quiet as a person with a legal background. I can't do that. I personally, and others who are in the NUP. So in most cases, we waited and we are passing through several steps. We even engaged, some people, investigative people. A party engaged, and the report is there, and it was served on electoral commission and other party, but they ignored. Whichever you try to do, they will not listen. Right now, it is only this forum which has given me a chance. We are not in any paper, we are not in any word, because they have protection from the state. I don't know which arrangement, maybe Chaplain will explain, and maybe others, I don't know. You remember when he was campaigning, he was putting on a jacket which is meant for the army, and we asked him, where did you get that jacket? He has never told us. After that ended, we saw him being given a vehicle, being excused of taxes for a vehicle where brakes cannot go through. And we are wondering of many things, And really, this is a part. And people are asking us, Gideon, did you say the struggle? And we really don't know. So many things have come up. So on that part of where we were, we did our part. We are going to bring out a document, very many documents, of which we have written to all the concerned parties, and there is no response. Where we engaged the police at Chiburi, and the report is available. If you can read that report, you will even wonder, but nobody is taking action, and we have been quiet about that. Then NCF is also in that way. It has, people who are ordering it of what to do and what not to do. It is the same with the EC, Electoral Commission, that somebody can say, please don't deal with Gideon, you deal with ABCD, and it ends like that. Then for the case of IPOD, I don't know where they began. The other group says for them they don't want to join IPOD, but again, they receive money under IPOD, and I don't know. Maybe IPOD will answer. Said for us, we are not members of IPOD. It is only us who wrote to IPOD that we want to join, and up to now they haven't replied to us. So we don't know which interest. Anything of money, it's very complicated in Uganda. You can't, I don't want to speculate. I have a legal background, but I don't know what is really happening there. So if you want to deal with anybody else, as for what you have been asking, you deal with a party that follows the structures. If you can ask the other side, ask them when is their SEC sitting, where does it sit, and who are the members of SEC. When they tell you that, then you know that a party is constituted. But where you have never called for any meeting of SEC, even the so-called the founder, whom you are saying it will recognize the founder, he has never entered into a meeting with them according to his words. You will see the minutes of SEC, the minutes of a delegates conference. The man was crying, he's sleeping in the house with no windows. Then that is the man, what he was telling us, said, me, I'm suffering, you please forgive me. What I did, I brought Chabrani because of his popularity, and I wanted the party to have members. But members have not come, they have remained silent somewhere. So in between there, we have learned, we have got information that they want to register another party. Again, passing through under some other people. So they are not clear at all. We cannot run a party like Firebase Crew. We can't. Where you go and stage a show, whichever you get, you after paying the venue and paying what, then you go say, go home, where I have gone, thank you. No, a party has got the structures. But because people are intimidated, they cannot talk. And members of SEC have been fearing, if you talk about NUP, these people of the people power will come and attack you and kill you. But if we don't talk really, where will the country go? So there is some kind of arrangement that we don't understand, and so we had to come up. The other question was how is money being paid to? We don't know. We told the Electoral Commission long time ago. I'm telling you that even the whistleblowers wrote to the Electoral Commission. We have copies. We instituted security people, private, go and investigate. They investigated and reports are there. We even gave copies to the Electoral Commission, no reply. Police made a report from Chiburi, go to Chiburi political office and ask the director will tell you this file is there, it is a public file. It was sent to DPP for sanctioning. These people would be inside the jails now, but there is nothing. And for us, we don't want to take that route. We want these people to humble themselves. You know, they are very arrogant. We want them to humble themselves. Let them come to the party. Then the party will see what to do with them. As per the resolution of the delegates conference, they said we incorporate these people if they come and report and become members as per the law. Then those who were elected legally, they were elected in a proper way, because for them they did, they were duped. And if you see the process from Chivarama to Chaguranyi, from Chaguranyi to them, this is almost a third step in empirical terms. So if it is like a transfer of a title, if it goes to a third party, it has already gone. So you cannot receive for what. Sorry, Karen, I don't find so of the party, whether it was wrong or what. So what we only need to know to do with them is to come and report to the party. We can disown them. In that issue which we are talking about, NRM MPs and what, they did not belong to opposition, neither the ruling party or to independent. Honorable Kadaga gave them some chairs. And of this particular time now, these ones cannot be there. It is because those ones were NRM and Honorable Kadaga gave them chairs. They cannot sit there. They will have to go. You wait. But for us, we don't want to take that route. No. We want, a peaceful negotiation, a peaceful way of handling the issues of politics, but where there is a criminality, like the issue of receiving money by false pretense, the issue of, committing any crime, then an individual has to answer for him or herself. We cannot be compromised with that. We can't do that. So it is upon that really we are here. So what the other group has done is to stop us from talking to the media, is stop us from talking to the public, is the government. There are some individuals, might not be the whole government. There are those who have been earning a lot using the other group. Maybe they are sharing. Some members of the other group are connected, seriously connected. There is a certain person whom I do not mention, but is at the rank of Kano, who is related to somebody in the other group, who has been, making sure that everything we do does not go through. Is there, and they are there, they are known, and we have tried to take those people. They have been receiving money from different people, which is not even for the members. They receive money from Sare, which is not for what is the creation, and they are not even taking to the members to be out of poverty. You need to know that there are 6,000 members of NUP. Who are purported to be members, who are in different jails, including the 2 MPs. There is no any action taken to make sure those people are out. We told them, please, can you negotiate with them? They said no, for us we don't negotiate. Whereas for them, they go in the night to go to Sare to pick some money, and also to deal with some people to ensure that we don't say anything. They don't want to negotiate for the release of these people. You remember people who have been killed, those who were killed, like Kauma, who died in Arua. His 2 children are not going to school. And we're saying, what does a party do? There are many things that we really need to humanly, which we need to do. And as a party, we couldn't really keep quiet. We are very strong and we are very vivid, or whichever, this is our country. And if we want democracy to grow in this country, then we have to put our leaders on accountability. They have to account for whichever they did, including, yes, everything. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Your final say on this one, and put this for a close.
I think before I go to my friend, let me mention this one, because Michael mentioned asked a question. How was that account? To which account is the money being sent from Electoral Commission? Because my concern is money as a political finance activist. I know that account. Then you must produce a legal document that confirms that actually you are legal, and then there has to be a resolution by either SEC or any other top governing committee council, but also it has to be supported by a minute of the of that sitting. So,
sure.
is there any bank that could have opened up the bank account in the names of NUP without seeing these? If not, did they produce them? So if they produced them, they were from which sect? And if that happened, or could there be a possibility that this money is being sent to an individual's bank account? These are questions. These are that should be directed to the Electoral Commission, and as a public body, the Electoral Commission, should should be enjoined to come out publicly and explain, because we are talking about public funds. But that said, I think as we are now, NUP is a people's party. There are so many interests at stake. It's like you produced this kid, it has now overgrown, it must go. It also has many other stakeholders that have an interest in it. I think it is in the very interest of the Gideon group, the very interest of the Kamocha group to come together, okay, and with the principle of agreeing and dissolving the impasse, because it is in the interest. There are supporters of NUP out there who are innocently, wedded to this party, okay, and they would want to stay wedded to this party, and they don't deserve this kind of insult. And therefore, it's important that the principle of Mengo, the principle of Kamocha, do come together amicably with the principle of agreeing, not disagreeing, because often you get into these meetings and one feels it's too big, another feels it's too small, another get into this party. It's like, okay, you married, you took my daughter, whether you raped or not, you did not get a blessing, but now here you are, you have 5 children. So you come back, we take you up, okay? Because the fact is a fact. Their daughters, their children involved. And you have also evolved, you become parents. You can make your own decisions, right? So let us, in the interests of the public, resolve this matter. We don't have to be arrogant. And let us see. I think we should have a discussion on this again next week. I think Michael, you would be happy to join us again. This time around, we will have to speak with the Kamocha team. I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Henry. And indeed, we'll have a follow-up on this one. We've shot our time by over 30 minutes, but it was worth it. Very interesting discussions. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being part of this discussion. Thank you so much, Gideon and Michael, and I myself, Felix Kafuma. I wish you a wonderful weekend. God bless. Till next time. See you. Bye-bye.